so far. Almost half the field under par in red figures at the end of play day one. We're almost certainly heading the way of an under par cut in this first of 5 majors of 2024. Lee Jung-min is a 10-time winner on tour, but not going to find a birdie there. She's currently hanging around at 4 under, but she is some distance back from runaway leader at the moment. Bang Shin-sil, sublime stuff from Shin-sil. Bogey free through 36 holes of 65 this morning to go along with her opening round of 67. Leaves her at a dozen under par at the halfway stage. Can she be caught? That is the question. Kim Min-ju could get to 5 under with this. Yeah, nicely holed there. She'll take it up to 5 under par, but right now that's only good enough for a share of 24th. Such has been the birdie bonanza we have been treated to at Lakewood this week. This is Jung Yoon-ji. Just the one win on a KLPGA Tour resume. Many feel that it could easily have been a couple more. She's given herself plenty of chances, and she's got a decent look here at 10 with this downhill right to left. Just needs that putter to heat up. She has talent in bucketfuls, a sublime tee to green game, but every now and then just tends to get a little bit conservative with the flat stick. Looks like Park Minji, who's basically a living legend out here on the KLPGA Tour. 18 wins, twice a winner of the money list and the points list. And just lets one slide by there. He's battled some health issues over the last year or so, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the broadcast, but it's good to see her healthy and playing nicely again. She's 3 under the card today after opening with a 68 yesterday. 7 under par, just about enough to cling on inside the top 10 as things stand. Now out to Big Mama An Sun-ju, prolific winner across the North Sea in the land of the rising sun on the Japanese tours. She's focused her attention on the KLPGA Tour more in the last year or two. We'll certainly look to add to her already impressive collection of victories she's amassed in her career. That's a nice birdie there at 11, taking her to 6 under par. Our featured group of the day will head to the first of the 2 par 5s on this inward half. 492 meters long. Does play gently uphill all the way. Fairly tight tee shot. Got trouble on the left and a pair of bunkers on the right hand side that will catch out players. 225 to get to the first of those 2 traps. So once you do find the middle of the fairway, you are presented with an option. Get it far enough down there, you can attack in 2, but best be warned, there's a nest of bunkers guarding this green. You can lay up into this general area here between those 30 and 90 markings on your screen right there, though the fairway does camber a little bit from left to right. The pin today, though, in the front section of the green, just 5 from the front and 5 from the right edge. So regardless of what strategy you choose to employ at this par 5, you best be precise if you want to leave yourself a look at a birdie 4. There's Yoon-ji. Very safely found there for Jung. Don't think that signboard's going to offer you a lot of shade there, Yoon-ji. It is rather warm here, but it is cooling down slightly in South Korea. Temperatures just around the low 20s, low to mid 20s. Springtime in South Korea. Kim Min-ju into the 12th, and that's a nicely played tee shot. Remember now, low 60 in ties will make it through to the weekend stages of this 1.3 billion Korean won major championship. The projected cut right now is sitting bang on 1 under par. It's a share of 60th, but any one of those players takes a step up, And it's going to be a 2 under par mark. Cut was 1 over at this championship last year. The winner of the season opener, Kim Jae-hee in Singapore. Won it on her birthday, no less. What a present that was in the Lion City. Going along well. 5 under the card. 5 under for the championship, I should say. 23 on her day now. On the tee, Park Hae-jun. Sunju. Playing in the company of Bae So-hyun and Kim Min-ju. These first 2 rounds, 7 wins on the KLPGA Tour, including a major title. Of course, the Korean Women's Open 17 years ago. Now, Park Ji-young, reigning KB Financial Group Star Championship winner. Brilliant season last year for Park. Picked up her 8th KLPGA Tour title at the Hankook Kilbo Championship a little bit earlier on this season. Second time she's won that crown. Tidy shot in there to the 11th. That's going to be a decent look at birdie. Well controlled there from Lee. This should be Cho Ah-yan coming into 11 as well. And that's nicely worked out. Lovely shot there from Cho. Excuse me, that's Lee Dong-eun, who will have a birdie opportunity upcoming at the par 5. Let's talk about that great season Park Ji-young put together last year. Second on the money list to Lee Er-won, points list as well. 16th at the Singapore Women's Open in defense of the title. That was a bit of a non-factor in Blue Canyon in Phuket at the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship, closing around to 77. Really hurt her there. It's been a productive visit back to South Korea for her. Didn't play the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open Championship. Finished 19th at the Doosan ENC Weave Championship before a stunning, dominant victory at the Mediheal Hankook Kilbo Championship the week after. It's now for birdie at the 10th. Just inside of 30 feet. Should have a touch of movement off her left here. Just needed to hit that a little harder. Currently 5th on the money list and 6th on the points list through the first 5 events of the year. Sunju hasn't won on the KLPGA Tour since 2009, a season that saw her pick up a pair of victories. Been a pro for 19 years now. On top 10 in her first 5 starts of the year, but a chance to get to 7 under par at the 12th. Just lacked a little speed there, and she knows it. So frustrating, hit a great tee shot and just can't capitalize with a good putt. Never even had a chance there. Now back to what looks like 11. Jae-young just powers that through the break, and that's gone drifting on by. Kim Jae-hee. Birdie look here from just off the back of the 10th green. Top 10 finish last week at Gimhae Gaya, the first since her triumph in Singapore. Yeah, decent pace on that one for Kim. That victory granting her a 2-year exemption on the KLPGA Tour as well. Job secure for 2 years, always a nice thing to have. Winning a major championship, and that brings a 5-year exemption along with it as we go to Park Minji. With her second into the third. Yeah, pretty solid there. Birdie look from just underneath the hole at 11. Should be a right edge putt. Oof. Just ran out of steam. Minji touch her right to left in this one for Kim. As we get her to 6 under par. That one's a little pacey. Well, we've seen some interesting putts today. A couple of players struggling to get it to the cup. Others racing it past like Minji did there at 12. And oh, no. No. So that's going to be a drop shot for Lee Jae-young. Certainly hope the same fate doesn't befall Minji a hole ahead at the par 3. Okay, catches a piece of the cup and tumbles in. She'll stay at 5 under and 3 under for the day. The round of the week, incidentally, recorded this morning by Yoon Ina, winner of the Ever College and Queen's Crown, for a suspension. Saw her banned from the KLPGA Tour for a couple of seasons. 64 this morning, bogey free on her day. Now, Park Hye-jun, third shot into the 11th. Got to be able to stop it on a dime to get it close to this front flag. Just a little long and left there for Park. Delights me to watch the wedge game of Lee Jung-min. She's got very soft arms throughout her golf swing, but really keeps that club face so square and stable through impact. Controls the distance and spin beautifully with these shorter clubs. Case in point right there for Lee Jung-min. It's gone in for an eagle 3. And there you go. Talk her up about how good she is. Pops one in from 80 meters. What a shot there for the 10-time Tour champion. It's one way to go vaulting up the leaderboard. Have another look here. Just how soft those arms are. Just rotates beautifully with her upper body. Knew she could put spin on it, pitch in a good spot, use the slope, and in it went for an eagle 3. Long way back on this par 5 is Jae-hee. Lovely tempo on that golf swing. Never seems rushed or hurried. It's going to get a little forward kick and go tumbling along. Well, follow that one, Jung Yoon-ji. A little bit closer, so won't be able to get as much spin on it. Still should expect this one fairly close, coming in from the fairway. Just didn't quite carry that far enough. Shake of the head. She knows, lost a little commitment there for Jung Yoon-ji. Park Ji-young. Not the driver. It's got a very flat ball flight, so she could pitch this on the downslope, get a couple of extra yards on it. Carries it into the upslope, but still, most importantly, she's found the fairway. To the 12th, but there's a brand new, rather comfortable looking massage chair. Yeah, there's a hole-in-one prize this week. So a couple of great tee shots yesterday on this par 3. Donglen could use with a couple of them. Struggling today at 1 over. It's going to be at least 2 outside the cut line, maybe 3. Pretty solid there. Pick it out of the bottom of the cup. Lee Chung-min. Fix your pitch mark first, of course. But wow. Vaults herself up the leaderboard. With that hole out eagle 3 at the 11th. Another look here. That could be an early candidate for shot of the day. Judged to perfection. Rather lengthy birdie look here from just past the pin at the 11th. And just had to be wary of that one skating out. Good for pace there. Still par there for Park Hye-jun, runner-up at the Doosan Reeve Championship. And Park Minji, we talked about it a little bit earlier on, had her health issues. Had some nerve issues in her spine and lower back. It's just tumbling on a little bit for Park. Minji. Got to be aggressive with your speed here. It was a little off the right, but certainly coming uphill. Rattled that one in nicely. Good birdie there for Jung Yun-ji. Third of the day. You're going to need to find those birdies early doors to keep up with the torrid scoring pace of Bang Shin-sil. Tertiary neuralgia is the condition that plagued Park Min-ji. Condition in which the tertiary nerve, which usually controls sensations of the teeth or the face, you start to feel knife-like pain. It's very unpleasant. But she's played through it, and she's looking like the Minji of old. He just leaves it up to a comfortable yardage at 11. We know what the number is. It's somewhere around 80 meters. That's where Lee Jung-min holed out from earlier on. Now, she could do with a couple of these dropping to get back to even par for Lee Dong-eun. Never up, never in. Pars just aren't going to cut it. Not when you're back at 1 over par now. Park Ji-young electing to lay up at 11 as well. Ahead at the 12th. Ji-young for her par. Uncomfortable tester, this one for Lee. Oh, but negotiated very nicely. It's a good save. Keeps the card tidy. Keeps her at 3 under par. In 2022, coincidentally, it was one of only 3 cuts she missed last season. DQ'd at this tournament last year after opening with a 74. Missed the weekend at Seoul-hae-won, where Bang Shin-sil walked off with the goods, and also had to withdraw from the KB Financial Group Star Championship. But it was a season that screamed consistency for the 23-year-old. Just outside the top 10 on the points, they're 16th on the money list with just over $500 million won banked in a season. Lee Jung-min hasn't won since triumph in Vietnam at the Pacific Links Championship at the end of 2022, but it counted as the start of the 2023 season. Bit of a non-factor last year with a very disappointing final round of 78 here at the KLPGA Championship. Ended the week in a share of 49th. Finished in the top 10 on 2 other occasions apart from that win in Vietnam. Gets the cut at the KLPGA Championship. But she's had a couple of top 5 finishes in Phuket and last week at Gimhae Gaya. There's a lot of deliberation going on back on this tee box at 12. Certainly hasn't been too much breeze to baffle the players so far this Friday. Two years of age now, Jungmin. Yep, good tidy shot to the heart of the green. Kim Jae-hee's third shot into 11. Remember that pin just 5 from the front edge. On this yardage, you can pretty much carry it all the way to the hole with a full lob wedge. Use a bit of spin like Jungmin did. It just looked like she decelerated there. Very strange looking golf shot. See that breeze starting to pick up. Maybe just not trusting her yardage there. Now she's left herself a bit of an awkward one. So we go back to the tee at 12 with Jung Yoon-ji and a 7-iron. Just a little too far right for it to catch that slope, so it's going to be a quick one for Jung. Park Minji, she felt pressure in her head from sort of the top of her forehead to the back right corner of her skull. Imagine trying to play top level golf with that kind of discomfort. The pain is alleviated, she's feeling better, and she's producing some of the shots that saw her claim 18 titles in the span of about 3 years. There's one since the BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup last season though. Now Sunju up ahead at the 13th. This downhill slider for birdie. Minji is a bit of a slope to the right. Can Hejin use it? No, not that far right. Like Lee Dong-eun, she's going to need to find some birdies and find them quick. With that cut line teetering between 1 and 2 under par. Now this is Kim Min-ju coming downhill for birdie at the par 4 13th. Good effort though. Ji-young. Her ability to control these wedges, should expect this one within 8 feet more often than not. Just carried it a little bit deep. Maybe that wind did affect Park Ji-young a touch, but still, let's look at birdie. Reigning Player of the Year, Lee Ye-won, across the 1 billion Korean won single season earnings mark last season, at the back of a couple of victories. Did win Blue Canyon at the start of the year. A 4-time winner on the KLPGA Tour. Prodigiously talented 21-year-old. They're all looking up at the 12 under par total of Bang Shin-sil, who backed up an opening 67 with a 65 this morning. She leads the way by 1 over Choi Min-kyung here on day 2 at Lakewood. So, a bit of a miscue there from Kim Jae-hee's now left her in a bit of an awkward spot here at 11. Not much green to work with. Everything slopes away from her. Oh, but the flagstick will stop it. Well, that's one way to make a 4 at 11. You can do no wrong right now, Kim Jae-hee. Brilliant hole out from the sand. And that's a birdie for the Singapore Women's Open champion. Jump up to head to what looks like the 13th hole. The second shot of Lee Jae-yong just saved a nice par back at 12. That pin on 13 got close to the right edge of the green, and that one is just going to tumble into that cavernous right-hand trap. Lee Jae-won only missed one cut last year, but she is on the cut line right now at 1 under. This would give her some breathing room. Downhill left to righter to get to 2 under and actually move the cut line to 2 under par. Just lacking a little pace. Rookie of the Year in 2022. Player of the Year in 2023. What does 2024 have in store for Lee Jae-won? Park Minji, despite having a bit of an off year, she managed to pick up a couple of victories back in 2023. This would get her to 8 under par and within 4. Oh, in it goes. Well done, Park Minji. She's within 4 of Bang Shin-sil. Still a couple of holes left to play. What kind of impression can she make on the top of that leaderboard? Park Ji-young. She's just got to be a bit more positive than Jae-won was. It's a quick putt, but you've got to hit it hard enough and high enough to give it a chance. And unfortunately, that's a carbon copy effort for Ji-young. The par 5. Isn't that just golf in a nutshell there? You've got Jae-won and Ji-young with birdie looks. They make par. Kim Jae-hee out of the sand in an awful spot. Makes a 4. No one said this game was fair. Now, a quick one from right to left for Jung Yoon-ji up ahead at the 12th. This one will move off her right. Just a little low all the way. That's just shimmied on by another foot or two. She's had some demons with this club in the past, but not so much from this range, Lee Jung-min. This 15-20 foot range, you feel you can freewheel it a little bit more. Putting stroke is a little bit more fluid. Tends to have a bit of a stutter start with the short range effort, which we might see from there, because that's a little awkward. Decent effort, but just carried a little bit too much pace. Took a big first bounce. That second shot into 13 for Lee Dong-eun. That's pretty nicely played. Can't afford to drop many more shots. Running out of holes. There's 5 left to try to find at least 3 birdies, you feel. Come back for a par. for Park Hye-jun. Not going to drop. So she'll slide back to 5 under. Par putt. Stay 1 over. Yeah, well hauled. Good sandy save there. For par, Minji at 12. Should just be a left edge putt with good speed. Oof. That's a 3-stab as well for Jung Yoon-ji. After that fine approach. This now is a birdie look for An Ji-hyun. Taking alongside Park Min-ji at 8 under par as the closest pursuers in this afternoon wave. Yeah, nicely held there for An. 10s and 33. Got the entire stretch of the back 9 to go. Kim Jae-hee with the honour on the 12th tee. See the problem here, you try to use that slope, you leak it a little bit right. And that putt can be slick. Doesn't like it. But we're not quite sure why, because that is absolutely perfect for Kim Jae-hee. I'll take it. They're going to make her. Now to Park Min-ji across the other side of the golf course. And 144 meters today, the par 3 fifth. And that one is well off the mark for Park Min-ji. Not a difficult chip shot she's left herself, but just a little clumsy. Park Ji-young at the top. She'd love for a happy accident, just like Kim Jae-hee's. Grunt of disapproval, but no harm done there. She's going to have her head on a swivel. And that is going to be quick. Year 1. One of those 3 wins last year, a major title at Blue Heron at the Hike Jinro Championship, the last major of the season. Oh, all over it for Year 1. That's a sight we have been accustomed to seeing over the last 24 months on the KLPGA Tour. Year 1 making birdies. Surely now that cut going to move to 2 under par. Have another look here. A foot away from a brand new massage chair. Superlatives to describe the talent that this 21-year-old possesses. Second shot, Jung Min into the 13th. Seeing this green looks a little bit firm, so maybe just pitch it couple of yards shorter, allow for a bigger bounce. Yeah, well worked out there for Lee. Coming out the rough, this one's certainly going to have a bit of chase. Not quite for Park Hye-jin, but no harm done. In adversity, certainly Tiger knows a thing or two about playing through discomfort. Won the US Open in 2008 at Torrey Pines on one leg, no less, and that took 91 holes with a 18 plus 1 hole playoff on the Monday against Rocco Mediate. That 14th career major title. Minji tidies up for par there. 4 holes left to play. Year one after that excellent tee shot with this left to move the cut line to 2 under par. So that is danger for the likes of An Sung-yi, Hwang Yu-na and Choi Hee-young, who are all done for the day at 1 under, sitting back in the clubhouse. Not making any friends out there. Here's Lee Year one. Yeah, it's a quick one for Park Ji-young, straight down the hill, moving off the right. Oh, well done, Park Ji-young. Brilliantly holed there. A birdie too. That'll take it to 6 under. Quality certainly rising to the top of this leaderboard at this major championship. Now Kim Jae-hee, after that happy miss, converts for a birdie too. Well done, Kim Jae-hee. Back-to-back birdies. Creeps inside the top 10. 7 under, which is only 5 shots behind Bang Shin-sil. Looks like Chung Yoon-ji's just gone through the green at the 13th. Imagine that bunker's been a popular spot this afternoon. 2 options here. You can carry it a little bit further on, nearer the hole with some spin, or try and plop it on that downslope, on that crest, and just have it feed down. Oh, they're holding it out from every bunker today. We saw Kim Jae-hee do it at 11. Jong Yoon-ji says, well, thank you very much. I'll have a birdie of my own from the bunker at the 13th. We've said putting can be an issue for her. Easiest way to fix that, don't take the putter out. Nice bounce back there for Jong Yoon-ji. Up on this 13th tee. Trouble down the right, which must be avoided. Birdie look here for Park Hye-jin. effort. Remain one under the card. Kim Jae-hee. Lovely free-flowing swing. Produces some pretty good results. It's already been a season to remember for Jae-hee as we go up to Lee Jung-min with a very good look for birdie. We're at the 13th. Just runs out of steam. So up to the 14th now. With that cut line at 2 under par, you have to feel Lee Dong-eun's got to pretty much run the tables to have any more golf to be played this week at Lakewood. That's a good start. It's going to keep getting better. Unfortunately, it looks like Park Ji-young's tee shot has ended up at the edge of an old sand-filled divot. So she'll assess that situation as we go up to 6 in Park Minji. Good par 4, this pin cut deep in the green, 19 on and just 6 from the right edge. There's a bunker long right that you can't afford to bring into play. Anything underneath the hole and a little bit left would be ideal. Tidy stuff there from Park Minji. Park Ji-young with that squirrely tee shot at 13, but it's an awkward lie here. Ball below her feet, sitting down in that rough on the edge of that old divot. So we'll have to look towards the front edge of the green. Expect this one to release. Well manufactured there from Park Ji-young. Kim Jae-hee, left edge of the fairway, best angle in for her. She'll take a very direct approach to this right pin. Just has to be wary of that first bounce. I got the number wrong there. Carries it through the green, Kim Jae-hee. Yeah, one. Found that left-hand trap with her tee shot. I think she's just far enough back where that lip's not going to be too much of an issue for her. There's that big first bounce I was talking about, but again, smart shot just out left of the pin. Give herself a decent look. Also putting through shadows can be a little bit tricky as far as depth perception goes. We'll see if Lee Jae-young can work it out here at the par 4 14th. It's not bad, just a little shy. Journey of 1,000 miles and ends with a single step. Doesn't have 1,000 miles to find 3 birdies. He's only got 5 holes, but this would certainly help. Runner-up last week at the next Sensate 9 Masters to Choi Yeon-woo. Best ever finish on the KLPGA Tour, so she's coming into this week with some good momentum and form, the rookie. First major championship start as a professional. She'd like it to continue. Looking just outside left edge. And that stayed fairly straight on her. Bit of a misread there for Lee Dong-eun. The task becomes that much harder. So, miss club there with the second, but we've already seen her hole out once from the sand. Not going to do it again, but that's a pretty fine shot from Kim Jae-hee. First look of the day. In the middle section of the green. Hong Ji-won, reigning Korean Women's Open champion. Simple 2-putt birdie. Both her wins, major titles, Hanwha Classic 2 years ago and the Korean Women's Open last year. Now, year one, downhill, moving from left to right, should straighten up a little bit at the end. Well read and very nicely done for pace. Check back in with An Sun-ju. Third shot into the par 5 15th. Well today, 36 paces on. 5 from the right edge. You've got to be committed to throwing it that far back. And oh, An Sun-ju certainly done that. Real stunner there from Big Mama. Crafted a very nice opportunity for herself after a bit of a wide tee shot for Park Ji-young. Doesn't have too much movement in it, so she can give this one a bit of a run. Oh, well done. Park Ji-young starting to string them together. That's a Another birdie to take her to 7 under par. Now, out at the 6th putt, Minji to get to 9 under par. Still got a par 5 to come at the 7th. Oh, agonizingly close for Minji. So to tidy up what would be a very good up and down from the sand for Kim Jae-hee at the 13th. Oh, no. Well, the golf gods giveth and the golf gods taketh away. That's a bogey for Kim Jae-hee at 13, and that's a solid par for Park Min-ji at the 6th. Up ahead to the par 5 15th. What we can only hope are a couple of birdie looks for the likes of An Sun-ju, Kim Min-ju and Bae So-hyun. This is Kim Min-ju. Yet to miss a cut this season. Collected just over 60 million Korean won. Top 10 finish in Phuket with a 4th at the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship. Just a shot outside the top 10 last week at Gimhae Gaya at the Nexen St. 9 Masters. These are the opportunities you have to take. You've got to take apart the par 5s here at Lakewood if you want to have any chance of catching Bang Shin-sil this week. Just didn't hit it for Kim Min-ju, and that's frustrating to say the least. Out to the fairway, and Jung Yoon-ji, that unmistakable silhouette. Good shot in there to the 14th for Yoon-ji. Keeps getting better. One of those players that you feel really should win more. She gives herself lots of chances. Second shot on the way for Park Hye-jun at the 14th. And it's pretty tidy as well. Going to be showing Jung Yoon-ji the line though. That's a couple of excellent shots into this par 4. An Sun-ju after that very well played wedge shot. Still got to convert the putt though. We saw from Kim Min-ju's that this one does want to tail off to the right as it loses pace. Be committed to starting this one on the left edge with speed, or maybe even outside left edge. Yeah, walks it in. Nicely converted birdie for An Sun-ju. Races that drop shot at 14 and returns her to a share of 17th. Down on 14T. Today's featured group. Park Ji-young set to lead them off here. Penalty area down the left-hand side. The only real danger off this tee.
Okay. Go. 네, 하겠습니다. 멈춰주세요.
After that solid shot into 16, Chang Soo-yeon. Have a look here for birdie. Last win was the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open 2 years ago. That was a touch lackluster there. Lee Jung-min from the back left edge of this 14th green, running through those shadows. This one's going to be a little bit slow for her, working uphill slightly. Gave that a good wrap. Positive pace on that one for Jung-min. Back to 15 and the third of Lee Jae-young. She drive it in there low. Try and get it to skip up. Not quite, but it's a decent shot if it stays up there, which it will. Kim Min-ju. Birdie look here. Maybe just a fraction of movement off the right for Kim. Certainly nothing she has to start too far outside right edge. Stayed straight on her at the end, but a good effort. See if Jung Min-ji's learned anything from that putt. Again, I just don't see too much break in this one. And having the luxury of a flat, maybe slightly uphill putt, we can afford to start this in a slightly more aggressive line and just play it with a bit more pace. Noted in the past that when she starts to putt poorly, that's when she just loses a little conviction right at impact. And putter face starts to twist right as it comes into contact with the ball. You want to see a just shorter backswing, a little bit more acceleration through the follow through. Yeah, well done, just like that. Rattles that one into the bottom of the cup, and Jung Yoon-ji sneaks inside the top 10 with another birdie. Kim Jae-hee back down in the fairway. Started just left of that TV tower. Let her draw work it back towards the flag off that target. Start on a nice line. Again, that one-handed follow-through maybe just didn't quite hit that as solidly as she would have liked. Not going to make it up that little slope, but still, that's no harm done for Kim Jae-hee. to the 17th. First look at the par 3 today, where that beautiful Mercedes EQB is yet to be claimed. Holding one prize up for grabs this week. Saw a couple of close ones yesterday. Try your rim, almost binning it from 155. We'll see if Jang Soo Yeon can go flag hunting here. Pin today in the back right corner of the green, 33 from the front edge. That's pretty well done. Minji's laid up already at the 7th. So this is now her third shot into the last par 5 she's going to play today. Slightly below her feet on a slight downslope. But easy to try and turn a draw towards this back left pin. 10 paces from the back edge and just 4 from the left. She's so crafty. She's got all the shots and they are on full display here on day 2 at Lakewood. Excellent from Park Minji. Opportunity to close the gap to 3 to your current championship leader, Bang Shin-sil. Yeah, Park Ji-young, just right edge of the fairway. Got that sawed-off abbreviated follow-through. That's a bit of a loose one from Park Ji-young. To think, hiding somewhere behind that umbrella, is Cho Ah-yan. Just giving this one a good long hard look. Now Minji, after that very fine approach into 7, still has to capitalize and roll this one in. Should move a fraction from right to left. It is to get to 9 under. Started a touch too far right, and that's a good opportunity squandered. Never won the KLPGA Championship, Park Minji. Now to the 15th. Lee Dong-eun. For this par 5 and 2, left it in a handy spot. She could do with an up and down birdie here. That's not what you would call stone dead. Again, if you're just joining us, the cut line has dropped back to 1 under par, but only just. Now Park Ji-young. A low little simple chip and run here. Took a kick left early. But good for weight on that. Sun-ju. Into the 16th. Low hands at address, really picks the club up high, drops it back on plane on the way down nicely. It's just gonna miss the green on the left edge. It's gonna have a bit of break to contend with that 3rd shot. Now back to 15. And a birdie putt for Lee Jae-young. move right to left and it started left. Not usually a recipe for a made putt. Kim Jae-hee coming up a little rise here, so it's going to be slow first half and then should start to quicken up when it gets on the back side of that tee up. Nicely judged for pace there. So, big moment this to get back to even par. No, they're just not dropping when she needs them to. Lee Dong-eun hangs her head in frustration. 3 holes remain. You feel 3 birdies probably required as An Sun-ju now steps into this shot at 16. Should swing a little bit from right to left with that bunker shoulder really influencing this third shot. Slam that one through the break, but should be able to manage that one for par. Well, can Leo one find a birdie here at 14? She's just on the top of that plateau, so just a gentle downhiller to contend with here. Slips it in the right edge, and Leo one will move to 3 under. Yeah, Jang Soo-yeon hit at the 17th. Hard to not know who's standing on this tee box. Massive screen there. 9:15 tee for Park Ji-young. It's going to get a friendly kick, but just not quite friendly enough. And that's going to take the option of attacking in 2 out of play. Sitting down in that rough, coming over water if you're going to attack that green. Kim Min-ju hit at 16 with this little left to righter for a birdie 3. Very nicely holed there for Kim Min-ju. Slow start, 1 over through 3, but she's rattled off 5 birdies since. Still 6 under par, not even sniffing the top 10 at the moment. Out to Lee Jung-min and her third shot into the par 5 15th. Got to carry it onto that upper shelf with a bit of spin. Yeah, not quite all the way there, but it'll stay on the top deck. So-hyun, this could have a huge impact on the cut line. Birdie putt here. we take it to 2 under par and move that cut to 2 under par as well. And she's poured it in. Bae So Hyun. That gets her to 2 under, and that cut line slides up once again. Now Jung Yun Ji, third shot into 15. Did she get the number right? Yeah, much like Lee Jung Min, just killed it in that upslope, but leave her an opportunity, an outside one. An opportunity at birdie nonetheless. Last to play will be Park Hye-jun. 102 plays more like 105. Into a slight draft. Oof, carried that well deep. A little too deep there for Park. Going to have the longest of 3 birdie looks in this group. To the 17th. The tee shot for Kim Minju to this back right pin. Players just turning down breeze now on 17. Just carry that way too far. Not too problematic through the back of this green. Now, Park Hye-jun to go for birdie at 15. Gosh, she must have raced up there. Took no time at all to cover that 100 meters. She's raced that one past a good 6-7 feet. Park Ji-young surely just to lay up from this right rough. Right to left in this for Lee Jung-min, and a good bit of it, at least in the first 6 feet. Tries to snap right there and into the bottom of the cup it goes for Lee Jung-min. Well read and nicely holed. So another serial winner on tour who's inside the top 10. Boy, there's some leaderboard stacking up going into the weekend here at Lakewood, I tell you that. Year one also going to be laying up at 15. Jung Yun-ji would love to follow Lee Jung-min in here. And from this angle, she's putting sort of more into the slope. Still wants to turn hard to her left as it loses speed near the cup, though. Yeah, just never quite convinced herself to hit that hard enough. Kim Jae-hee back up in the fairway. Also going to be laying up. So comebacker for par now for Park Hye-jun. Has to look outside right edge. Nope. Started that straight. Never had a chance. So a 3-putt bogey there. Second of this back 9. She slips to 4 under. ENG at the par for 8th. Plays 350 meters off the championship tees and pinned at 8. Cut the right section of the green. 7 from the right edge. Should just be a short iron for Minji. Certainly no more than a 7. Just a little deep there. Good look at what faces the players here at 15. See that big gaping penalty area short of the green. Really ask players a question. If you can reach into, do you have the stones to take it on, first of all? If not, well, just lay it up into this spot and try and make a birdie the old-fashioned way. That's what you need to do. Carry it all the way pin high on 15. Nicely played from Park Ji-young. To the tee at 16. Lee Jung-min fresh off that birdie at the 15th. First half of this hole. You do play to an elevated green. It's a good safe tee shot, snug to the right edge of the fairway. Minji. Averages just over 241 yards off the tee. Fairly accurate though, finds the fairway about 76% of the time. Now, year one. Third shot upcoming to 15. A beauty from the player of the year. Yeah, going to be coming through a little bit of fringe here on 16 for Lee Jae-young. He wants to kick hard to the right, just as it gets on the green. Yeah, nicely played. Good option that. We see a bad putt's better than a bad chip when you're off the edge of the green, so perhaps a little something to save you a shot or two the next time you're out on the golf course with your buddies. Rock solid par there for Lee Jae-young. Kim Jae-hee, a couple of good shots in from her playing partners. She can use that visual, try and replicate one of her own. Took a big bounce, but gets it to hit the handbrakes. Decent shot there for Kim. Now Minji at the 8th. First part of this putt's going to be flat, then it just tips downhill. So pace is important here. Well judged. Should be a cast. iron par 4 for Park Minji, who I alluded to a little bit earlier on in the broadcast, has struggled with health issues the better part of the last year. She soldiered on bravely. She is starting to find some form, and that's always dangerous news for the rest of the tour. Jang Soo-yeon at the hole. It's going to work its way off the slope nicely. Very nicely.
거야 진짜. 아니 알아듣게 얘기하는 거야.
So, something special going to be required here for Lee Dong-eun to stick around for the weekend. There's 2 holes left to play. Yeah, threw everything she had at that, but it's going to run through the green, and that could be her championship run. After that wonderful third shot for Lee Ye-won. A look now for Birdie to claw her way back to the fringes of contention after a slow opening 27 holes. Now, that has been a bit of a problem. Lee Ye-won and the putter Not seeing eye to eye at the minute. So, final hole of the day for Park Minji. Par 4 ninth. Oh, just needed maybe 5 yards more. Hope that hasn't rolled back into that greenside bunker. Could be a bit of an awkward short-sided leave for her. Wang Yina not going to be around for the weekend stages of this championship at 5 over par, but that's a pretty well played shot into her final hole of the week. Yeah, through the shadows at the back of the 18th green, Jang Soo-yeon for a closing birdie. Would be content to snuggle this one in close and take a 2-putt for par. Going to the weekend at 6 under. And looks like she's, I was going to say just about done that, but there's a bit of meat left on that bone for Soo-yeon. Former major champion on the KLPGA Tour in her own right. Now year one at the 16th. Perhaps a closing birdie. Coming downhill, sliding to the right, and in she goes. Bookend birdies for Kim Woo-jung. Great round of 68 yesterday, just the 71 today, but she'll have more golf to play this week at the KLPGA Championship. Park Ji-young really trying to make an exaggerated rehearsal. We see that from Justin Rose a bit on the PGA Tour. Trying to squat into that left side. Use the forces of the ground to try and get a little bit more pop and speed at the bottom of the swing. Certainly looked like a good amount of speed there. Comfortably past the tee shot of her younger playing partner in the year one. The only player to have made more money than Park Ji-young last year. You know, Park Minji, talk about the success that Yeowon's had banking checks over the last 12 months. Minji crossed the billion Korean won season earnings mark twice in back-to-back years. And with a touch like that around the greens, you can certainly see why. It's going to be a second straight round of 68 for Park Minji. So she'll begin the weekend just 4 shots behind the current championship leader, Bang Shin-sil. Just the one bogey on Minji's card today. Very solid stuff through the opening half of this championship. And when she is healthy, she can be dangerous on the KLPGA Tour. Now, Jang Soo-yeon, keep your concentration here. This for par. No, and that's a really deflating way to end what was an otherwise pretty solid day at the office. A closing 3-putt bogey. That's a round of 2 under par 70. Her only blemish of the day coming on the 18th. Through the back of the green here at the 17th. Can be a pretty brisk chip. That one pulls up a couple of feet shy. Lee Jae-young. Birdie look here for Park Hye-jin at the 16th. Slightly downhill, then just turns back up as it gets to the cup. And stays high on her. Level par on the day after that 3-putt at 15. 2 3-putts in the back 9, yielding there are only 2 blemishes on the inward half. Lee Jung-min to get to 8 under par. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get there? Just about for Lee Jung-min. Wonderful birdie 3 there. Piecing together a great back 9, courtesy of that jump start, that hole out eagle at 11. Lee Jung-min. So take some valuable experience out from her first KLPGA Championship this week. Currently 3rd on the Rookie of the Year points race. But not going to be collecting any more points here with a missed cut at the KLPGA Championship. Now Jung Yun-ji for her birdie at 16. At least she can say that she hit that positively enough. Not always the case with Yun-ji. It's just a harmless par that keeps her at 7 under. Jae-yong for her par ahead at the 17th. Maybe just a inside right edge putt. No, started that straight. Didn't see the break in it. I have to say, that's a bit of a clumsy bogey from what really wasn't too difficult of a spot along with this par 3. Kim Jae-hee back on 16. See that pin tucked behind that greenside bunker? Seems to like it, and that's why straight over the top of the stick for Kim Jae-hee. Excellent shot. Coming out of the dormant rough down the left-hand side of 18 is An Sun-ju. Unable to get any sort of spin on it. It's going to release through to the back edge of the green. Park Ji-young. These are the clubs where she can do the most damage with. Prolific iron player. Likes to move it a little right to left so she can just hold a little draw up to this back left pin. Excellent shot there, working it off the slope. 3 brilliant shots in there from Kim Jae-hee, Lee Yeon, and Park Ji-young to the 16th. Back up to the home hole, and the second of Kim Min-ju after a pretty big tee shot, almost in the flat portion of that fairway. Coming in with a lot less loft than An Sun-ju, and more importantly out of the fairway, gets that one to stick. Now back to 15. Third shot into this par 5 for Ma-da Som. Won last year's OK Financial Group OK Man Open at Sky 72 in Incheon. Playoff victory there. 1 and 2 in playoffs last year. Lost one to Hong Ji-won at the Korean Women's Open. Lee Jung-min at the 17th. Asked for that to go, and unfortunately go it did not. Back to 15. And third shot in. For Yukina. Now, Minji. Back on this slightly elevated 17th tee. She's got 6 iron. Should be a nice stock yardage for her from 155. Takes a bit of a left kick, but it's going to just release on past pin high. Solid shot there for Jung Yinji. 6th best greens in regulation stats on the KLPGA Tour. Now to 16, and Leah 1 putting slightly downhill for a birdie 3. Just hasn't made enough of them this week. She's had reasonable looks, but has not been able to convert most of the time. So just going to be a par for year 1, which you can safely figure out the intended putting lines of a playing partner. Sometimes it's a bit like playing Twister out there, trying to politely not trod on your playing competitor's intended lines. Now An Sun-ju. Saw Jang Soo-yeon's ball slow up quite a bit, so it looks like it's downhill, but might flatten up as he gets to the hole. Much better from An Sun-ju. Very nice bit of touch there from An. That's going to be a closing part. She'll head into the weekend at 5 under. Seeking a 2nd KLPGA major title and an 8th victory on tour. Has not won on the KLPGA Tour in some 5 years. She would 15 years, excuse me. Love to break the duck this week at Lakewood. Yeah, Kim Jae-hee has already made her fair share of putts this year. This is a good look here, putting slightly uphill. In you go for Kim Jae-hee. Whiting indeed, 7 under par. Goes the Singapore Women's Open champion. Big tee shot, solid approach. Chance for a closing birdie here for Kim Min-ju. And she'll have a closing birdie. That's a nice, solid pair of days for Kim Min-ju. 7 under par going into the weekend as we quickly return to Park Ji-young, just losing that one low at 16. Bit of a clumsy tee shot from Lee Jung-min at 17, but she's got room to work with here. Not a difficult bunker shot as long as the lie's okay. Look, it was sat down, but she has conjured up something very nicely there. Great hands from Lee Jung-min. Birdie putt for Mada Som back on 15. Got a chance. Just dips off low at the end. vastly underrated player. People forget she did finish second in her rookie season on the rookie race against, well, Leaderboard 1. She has grown accustomed to life on tour quite nicely. Already a winner on tour. Now we saw that great shot in from Yuki Na. This to get to 7 under. It's quick, but I don't think it's that quick. Kina. I just had to give that enough respect. So easy to have that ball slide by and go tumbling on and on. Still, it's been a good day out at Lakewood for Gina. She's 4 under the card. Minji for a birdie at 17. Just get a sneaky feeling she's going to win at least once this year on tour. She's too good of a player to be only stuck on one win. She will have to figure out that club in her hands right now, though, because that is a disappointing effort from Jung Yun-ji. Never even gave it a chance. Now to the home hole. See that pin cut tight to the left-hand side, in between the two tops of the hospitality tents. Just wipe that out right for Lee Dong-eun. It's going to be a short trip to Lakewood this time round for the KLPGA Tour rookie. This would be a nice sandy save for Lee Jung-min, who's only dropped 1 shot today. Be keen to keep things that way. I found the bunker off the tee. It looked like a very good lie in that trap. Has extricated herself to here. Just watch the start of this putting stroke. Once she gets going, it's usually pretty smooth. Just has issues taking the club back from this sort of range. Sometimes stutter starts it. And there it is, just a little nervy one, and oof. That's a yucky 4 towards the end of her round. Back to 16, and this is An Ji-hyun, 14, excuse me. He's got it to 8 under par. Couple of pars to start the back 9. 143 meters left into this 14th. Just pitched on a bit of a downslope there. It's going to release on to the back edge of the green. Jae-hee to the 17th. The greens do dry up a little bit later in the day, so expect a bit more run out, especially with a mid-iron like a 6-iron. Just carries the bunker, but watch that one chase on. Lengthy birdie look at this 18th for Lee Dong-eun. She was one of those players that is very adept at working the ball both ways. Park Ji-young. See, a lot of players in the KLPGA Tour and women's golf in general pretty much just move it from right to left. But Park Ji-young's got this gear where she can just sort of open up her stance, swing a little left, hold on to that club face, and with that abbreviated follow through, it sort of little chippy fades into back right holes. The 7-9 indicates she's starting this at the right edge of the green, trying to bust a high draw in there. Very nicely played. Again, like I mentioned, just deadly with the irons. Park Ji-young, such a square club face through impact. He controls those shots beautifully. She's going to need a couple of more of those if she wants to put any sort of pressure on Bang Chin-sil, who has looked comfortable at the top of that leaderboard since we came on air. It's the sophomore on the KLPGA Tour who leads this championship by 1. Left edge of the fairway here, coming into 16 for Madasom. Gosh darn near slam dunk that one into the bottom of the cup, but another perler of a shot for Ma. Back edge of the green here at the 18th. Bad line at all, just lacked a little bit of speed there. It's just rolled off the right edge of the green for Kim Jae-hee at the par 3 17th. And just didn't quite clip that as nicely as she would have liked. So there's work to be done for par. A lot of it, in fact. She's had a couple of untidy moments. This back nine. Still, that's just part of the game, isn't it? Kina trying to really rope a high draw around there and use that slope, which she's done. Chance for perhaps a closing birdie. Cho Ayan isn't going to be around for the weekend, but at least a birdie on the last is going to make the four-time Tour champion feel a little bit better. Just a poor start there, dropping a couple early. 2019 Rookie of the Year bowing out at the halfway stage. Now back to what looks like the 14th, and An Ji-hyun. Slow putt coming back up the slope for birdie. Got a chance. Ooh. Had a look about 10 feet out, but it just stayed a little straight for her. Still decent effort and a nice round going for An Ji-hyun. Now back to Kim Jae-hee at 17. The lengthy par-saving putt. Off that one. Perhaps something in this crowd just putting her off. So we'll move to her left. Coming uphill. Move back right at the end. So a bit of a sloppy tee shot. Going to lead to another bogey on this backside. Kim Jae-hee. Progress momentarily halted. As we go back a hole to Madasom's birdie putt at the 16th. Wiggled a little right. Just a par. Not going to be the major championship debut that Lee Dong-eun would have dreamt of at the start of the week. She'll regroup, and she'll be back next week. Rookie campaign of the KLPGA Tour. It's not a pretty looking scorecard there, not a birdie in sight. Miss out on any more golf at Lakewood this week. 1 over par, not going to make the cut. Now, Yoon Gina was tentative on 15. She's got to be aggressive here on 16 with this uphill look for birdie. That's more like it. Lovely birdie there. She moves to 7 under par. So second shot into the last for Lee Jung-min. Just want to keep it a little bit right of this flag. to be overly aggressive into this pin this afternoon. What do I know? You've got an iron game like hers. You can go flag hunting from pretty much anywhere. Stellar shot. Park Ji-young. Birdie look at the penultimate hole. Is it going to break? It just carried a little too much speed. Second shot on the way for Minji into this 18th. That one threw out the handbrake quickly. Very nicely done. That was a rather unappetizing looking lie in the right rough. I think that sort of bare patch as well. Just going to make controlling this ball rather challenging. So important to be precise with your low point control here. For Park Hye-jun. She's managed very well from a bit of an awkward spot. Well played indeed. This par 4 18th, where the dramatic conclusion to Championship Sunday will unfold. There's that little bunker on the right, catches out a couple of stray tee shots, can't afford to go left as well. Some pretty thick trees down there. 230 to fly that right trap, but if you do carry it about 230, 240 yards off the tee, you can pitch on a bit of a downslope and catch a fast track down to the lower portion of this fairway. It's a pretty wide green, but pretty shallow one as well in some angles, particularly where the pin is today in that back left section. 25 from the front and just 9 from the left. It's a really well struck shot to get close into. So Kim Jae-hee just want to keep it inside left of that trap as your start line, because with this club, if you block it into that trap, might not be able to get to the green. It's a pretty high lip on that right-hand side. After some trouble off the tee, and that's an all-world par for Park. Well done indeed. The adventurous route up this 18th hole, but well, it's going to be a par 4. Well, par 72 today for Park Hye-jun. Heading down the left half of the fairway. That's that little speed shoot I was talking about. You gamble with the driver, you can really take off a bit of yardage coming into the green, give yourself a much shorter approach into this par 4. Now Minji up ahead on the green, looking to put the shine on what's been a solid day. Carrying on a little bit too much speed, perhaps. Tried to get back at the end, but it's just going to be a par for Minji, who is very much in the hunt through 36 holes. 7 under par. This angle, it's going to be a little bit uphill. Want to tail off to the right. There's a little stall with the putter. It's only going to be a par, so she likely will be heading off with Minji once again tomorrow at 7 under. Hunt for an 11th career title. So a featured group set to play their second shots into this closing par 4 at Lakewood. Go out on the Mountain 9, you come home on the Forest 9. Kim Jae-hee took the aggressive option off the tee. Skirt at the edge of the trap. Park Ji-young a little bit further down the fairway in her young compatriot. For Jae-hee, she's got the best angle here, coming out of the right side of this fairway. It opens up the avenue to this back left pin, but still you've got to be careful. Just look a little bit long and a little bit right. Take your chances from 15, 20 feet. Unable to get any sort of spin on that. Just releases on a touch, but no harm done. Ji-young looks like it's just a wedge in hand, so she can pretty much go straight at this pin. Pitch that on a downslope. Worked that out very nicely. Good shot in for Park Ji-young. Last to go, Lee Won, who's going to need a real special surge on Saturday to keep pace with Bang Shin-sil. She's currently 9 behind Shin-sil. That's going to help get the 8 back as he rolls that one in. Fine shot there from now 4-time tour winner. Fixture inside the top 10 on leaderboards in her first 2 years on tour. One of the most exciting talents to come out of South Korea in recent memory. Now back to An Ji-hyun and her third on the par 5 15th, electing to lay up. But we know what you have to do here on this hole. Just got to make sure you fly it all the way onto that back level of the green where the pin's cut today. Should be a nice full gap wedge, or maybe even a pitching wedge for Ji-hyun, gripping well down on this. She tried to feather it in, and unfortunately you don't quite get enough spin. You're trying to take some yardage off a club, but that's reasonable. Give this one a good long hard look. Kim Jae-hee. Only one time in 5 starts this year she finished outside the top 25 at the end of the week. That was a 41st place finish at the Blue Canyon Ladies Championship the week after winning in Singapore. A pair of runner-up finishes last year as well towards the tail end of 2023 at the Daibo House D Open to Park Ji-young and to Park Ju-young, excuse me, and the SOL Championship as well. Did miss the cut here last time out, but it's not going to be the case in 2024. So it's going to be downhill for most of the way, and then should just want to wander a little bit right as it gets to the cup. She's one of the best putters in the KLPGA Tour, currently 5th in that stats category, averaging just over 28 putts around. That one surely not hit with enough conviction. Sorry, Jae-hee, I might have put the jinx on you there. That was a very weak effort. Go back to, it looks like 14? Oh no, 16, excuse me. Lee Soo-jin 3 from long range finds the target. Nice birdie there. Keen to add a second major championship to her resume. It was a relief at Blackstone and Incheon when she finally lifted a major title at the KB Financial Group Star Championship in September last year. She's in the hunt once again here at Lakewood at the KLPGA Championship. This a birdie look, could be a little bit quick, certainly wants to move from left to right. So good for so long, but remains above ground for Park. Pretty solid opening 2 rounds for Park Ji-young. It's a 67 today. Bogey-free track round the golf course. To 16. Birdie putt coming up the hill and into the bottom of the cup. Birdie there from Yun Hua Yong. Now year 1. She's got a mountain to climb ahead of her. She would be aware of what the lead stands at right now, but just these kind of putts take a little bit of momentum going into the weekend. Try and put a low round out tomorrow and let the chips fall where they may. She was up and out of it quickly. It was a very poor stroke. Just looks like she's making a backswing that's a hair too long and almost having to decelerate coming into the ball. Now An-sun. This is An. Outside look at a birdie on 15. So he wants to peel right fairly hard. Lost it low, about 6 feet out. It's just going to be a par. So par putt now for Kim Jae-hee. Don't want to drop 2 in a row coming home. Yeah, never in doubt. Good save there. Bit of a topsy-turvy back nine, but a pair of 69s to start her week at the KLPGA Championship. She'll start the weekend from well down on that leaderboard. We know very well what she's capable of. It's an improvement on that opening round of 72 for Lee Ye-won, but 9 adrift at the halfway stage of the 2024 KLPGA Championship, the 46th playing of this great tournament. It's like Mada Som on the back edge of 17, putting up this little rise for a birdie too. Very nicely worked out for pace there. Good roll from Ma. Remember, she led the Korean Women's Open last year by 2 shots with 2 to play. Bogeyed 17 and 18 on Sunday to fall into a 3-way playoff with Kim Min-bol and eventual winner Hong Ji-won. Exercised those demons a couple of months later, picking up that breakthrough title at Sky 72 and a playoff for the OK Financial Group OK Man Open title. Now, Yoon Gi-na, it's already at 7 under par. Imagine this is for par. Indeed it is. And she will stay just inside the top 10. On the tee, and Lee Soo-jin 3 after that nice long-range birdie putt got her to 3 under par. She'll have the honor. Beg your pardon, this is Yoon Hwa Young. Remember, she too made birdie. Unlikely to have any further part to play in this championship. Oh, almost one-hopped it, but that's going to trundle through the back. This is Lee Soo-jin 3. Curious to see how firm these greens are going to play over the weekend rounds. The weather, it's been pleasant, it's been cool, it's been a bit dry as well, so you just lose a little bit of moisture in these greens. They can really become rapid and a bit bouncy, particularly late in the afternoon. Case in point right there, she's pitched it 6 feet short, but she's going to roll over the back of the green there at the 17th. Tee shot at the last for Da Som, aggressive player, and she's chosen the aggressive option here. So try as they might, thrown a couple of solid rounds in the afternoon stage. Minji's got it to 8 under par, but Bang Shin Sil's lead still secure at 12 under here on day 2 at the KLPGA Championship. But if you're not at 7 under par or better, you are on the outside of the top 10 looking in. It's been brilliant golfing at Lakewood so far this week. Well, ENG Hyun still has a chance to pick off a couple of late birdies to perhaps try and get herself a touch closer to Bang Shin Sil, who sits at 12 under par at the summit of this 46th KLPGA Championship leaderboard. Turns away in disgust, and you can see why, and that looks like it's really nestled down in some of that dried out rough. So potentially a couple of problems there for An. Back edge of the green is Madasom. excuse me. This is the 17th. This is Yun Hua Yong. Say this is Kim Bo-mi 3. It's 5 under par, playing in the company of An Ji-hyun. Producing a far better shot, although that one's a touch unlucky. Doesn't get the grab she was looking for, but it's going to get a little assist from that back slope. Not bad there from Lee Soo-jin 3. Well played chip shot. That left for par. Important, these putts. Making birdies all well and good, but just got to consolidate them with tidy up and downs for par. Okay, well holed. Good save there. Lee Soo-jin 3. This is very awkward for Ma Da-som in that little tongue of rough in that right-hand trap. Easy to lose this left. Oh, it would have been nervy watching that one through the air, but it's on dry land. So this is going to be a little awkward for An Ji-hyun. Much depends on the lie, whether she can get any loft, slide that club face under the ball, and have it thrown up into the air high, or she's got to bump it through the fringe. Well, there's your answer. I had to play that low, just get it to chase on. It's not bad, but she will rue that very loose second shot. Downhill lie for Ma Da-som, or downhill stance, I should say. That ball's sitting pretty okay. Just when you make sure you get that weight on that forward foot, don't want to be trying to fall back on it and scoop this into the air. It's going to come out lower with a bit of chase. Yeah, textbook stuff. Well played. That's a solid par at the last. Around a 70 today for last year's runner-up at the Korea Women's Open. Goes into the weekend at 6 under. So birdie look for Kim Bo-mi 3 back at 16. It's tracking, but it just runs out of steam. Still 2 holes to play, 2 under for her round. Now, back of the 18th. As Birdie look for Kim Si-yoon to have any chance of making the cut. This has got to drop, and drop it does for Kim Si-yoon. Hello, hello. Wow, what a putt that is to make. Still, she's going to need some help right now. Going to need 2 players to drop back from 2 under par, but that preserves a slim chance of perhaps having more golf to play this weekend. So, we know this one moves left to right. Can Gina figure it out to get into a share of 6th at 8 under? No, up and out of it quickly. Never really trusted the line there. So a par putt now to stay in that share of 6th, back at 16 for An Ji-hyun. Oh, rattles the back of the cup. Gutsy save there. Really good up and down to keep An Ji-hyun at 3 under for her 2nd round. Disgusted with that effort for Birdie. It's now for par for Gina. Okay, no mistakes there. Pretty solid opening half of this championship. A nice round of 67 today for Yu Gina. Ji-hyun get the distance right here on 17. Got to land it short of the ridge and just have it roll up. Did birdie this hole yesterday. Oh, and here it comes. Up the slope, up you come. Just enough to get it on that back level. Pretty good. Well, let's reflect on the many highlights of this 2nd round here at Lakewood, and we'll start at the 4th with Choi Eun-woo, last week's winner at the Nixon St. 9 Masters, the now 2-time KLPGA Tour winner, picking up a nice birdie there. And that 5, beg your pardon, that is Kim Hae-rim. 4 under in her first 5 holes for the KLPGA Tour veteran, multiple-time winner on tour, and she was showing no signs of slowing down. That was a birdie putt on the 1st for Choi Eun-woo. And then at the 7th, the big hitter, Bao Shin-sil. Got that one to release on very nicely. Fed it down beautifully. She's birdie there at the second, opening her account for the day after an excellent tee shot at the par 3. Choi Min Kyung, 2 under par to this stage. Make it 3. With that 3 at 13. And at 7, Kim Hae-rim would continue to pour them in. That got her a 5 under par through her first 7 holes. Needed a fast start today, and the veteran certainly delivered. And at 15. Min Kyung canned one from long range. Starting on the back 9, open with a 67 yesterday. Very quickly got it to 8 under par. Guess what? Kim Hae-rim at this putt at the 9th for an outward half of 6 under par 30. Watch this one drop in from the side door. And at 10, Park Gae-ol. She was the leader at this stage of the championship last year. 2 under par outward half. And a very fine approach, setting up a birdie there at the par 4 10th. And at 15, Bang Shin-sil, 2 great shots to this point. Had this for an eagle for the second day in a row. Just drifted by on the low side, but thankfully she would collect the birdie coming back to take her to 6 under par for her round. Big bunch start on the back 9, getting ahead of myself there. I'm not getting ahead of Kim Hae-rim, who popped this one in for a 7th birdie of the day through 10 holes. Unfortunately, would par her last 8, but still around a 65, leaves her at 9 under par for the championship at the halfway mark. Min Kyung, though, her round was just getting started. That a birdie at the 17th. That wasn't the 9th hole. I believe that is the 13th. Kim Hae-rim just nicked the top of her wedge, but got away unscathed. Bang Shin-sil picked up a 3rd birdie of her front 9, starting on the back. She would turn in 33. And at the 18th, Min Kyung would pop this one in to turn in 31. Got her to double digits under par, moved her 1 clear once again. So, made the turn at 3 under, did Bang Shin-sil. Great tee shot into the 2nd. And that one went to get her to 9 under. At 16, Park Gae-ol with 1 final birdie in a round of 68. Bogey free for Park Gae-ol. She's in a share of 3rd. Looking to go 1 better than she did last year. At 4, Shin-sil. Lovely approach. And a nicely converted putt. Took her to double digits under par and alongside Choi Min Kyung at the top of the leaderboard. Something to say about that. Par 3 5th. This tee shot all over it. Rarely do you see 100% make percentage, but well, stats were right for once there. Choi Min Kyung with the 6th birdie of the day. She wouldn't collect any more. Signed for a 66 to be at 11 under par. Bang Shin-sil, enormous tee shot at the short 6th. Only had a gentle floating wedge in. Also picked up a birdie at the 4th. And then at the 7th, Dang Shin Sil only an iron in for a second to this 468-meter par 5. And for the second time today, she gave herself a look at an eagle. And for the second time today, the putter would not cooperate. Still a simple 2-putt birdie, and you think about the eagle putts that she had on 15 and 7. Dang Shin Sil still coming home with a bogey-free round of 65 to leave her top of the pile going into the weekend as she seeks a breakthrough major title here at the KLPGA Championship. That's a good tee shot from An Ji-hyun into the 17th. Will it yield a birdie? Hasn't made one on this back nine. It's been a run of 7 straight pars for her. I know that is heartbreaking. It's just going to sit on the top lip. That is unfortunate for An Ji-hyun. I have to settle for an 8th straight par on this inward half. So as the shadows lengthen around Lakewood, it's Dang Shin Sil who will lead by 1 going into what should be a captivating weekend of golf here at the 46th KLPGA Championship. We thank you for your company this afternoon and look forward to more of the same tomorrow from Lakewood. Until then, this is Timothy Lowe saying have a lovely evening and bye-bye for now. We'll see you tomorrow.